Hello, everybody. Hello. Hey, guys, it's me, it's Andy Decade Andy here. Pre-show for Moonbase 2. We're going to be getting up and running soon. We're going to be having some fun talking today. There's been some news. Megacon. All that jazz. I mean, we'll be talking about it. Uno momento, por favore. I don't think there's anything new via the the whole show-z side of things. I don't think there is. I think, this is kind of new, right? Mechanical Skull doing the Ramja. I don't think I've talked about that. I mean, it's not much to say, I suppose, to be honest, but I suppose we could throw that in. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of new stuff. I just want to quickly check to see if Iron Factory's got their Death Cobra on pre-order. I don't think they do. Oh, they're reissuing these two. That's good. For the people that might have missed out on Drillhorn and Kill Bison, that's handy for them. Death Cobra. Yeah, still just on pre-order at the moment. He ain't in yet, baby. He's coming though. I guess, yeah, we could talk about that, and I'll probably do it, I suppose. Hope everybody's doing well. Let's get pooping, I suppose. Let's get pooping with the glooping. Is that what they say? Pooping with the gloop? We could say that. Okay, anyway. Hang on. Let me not forget. I need Streamlabs up, really, don't I? That would be a good idea. That would be the smart thing to do. Sometimes we don't always run the smart thing, but today I'm going to make sure that I try. And isn't that the most you can ask for? The most you can ask for is you try. Hello, Jai. How's it going? Poopy boopy indeed. Jai doing good? I didn't get to read your message, Jai, before I came on to stream, but I will look at your tweet to me, your DM tweet, your twatters when you twatted at me. I'll be looking at that once I've finished pooping. I'll have a look. I'm sure it's 3D printer related, so and I saw there was a lot to it, so I'll be having a good old goosey gander through that shit. But let's start with the poop. Let's roll the music, and then we can get on with this shit. Okay, music time.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. Me, Decade Andy. How's it going, everybody? Are you all gooey and sticky and your bits all in the right places? I hope they are, for it is Sundal Day, and we have had news as Megacon rolled on in. We had reveals and new things to talk about, so that's good. That's why we're not doing a show with Big D today talking about old toys, because we have new toys to talk about. So that's what we'll be doing. We have people in chat. Welcome to the human peoples. Welcome to the non-human peoples. I hope you're all doing well, ready for talkings. I know that Mr. Jai is excited, especially for well, I was going to say one of the reveals, one of the line reveals, 4 figures technically. So we'll be getting to that. But we do have stuff to talk about first. Non-Megacon woo-woo, such as Wonderfest. Talked about Wonderfest a little bit ago. We talked about how they were doing the garage kit of Rat Trap from Beast Wars and Optimus Primal, again from Beast Wars. These garage kits, we've got one showing, pretty much finished. It's the exclusive Beast Wars Rat Trap garage kit. This time we got the colored prototype, so now we know how it will look in person. As prior to that, we saw it only in the very, just flat grey. Now we get to see Rat Trap, who's just mostly grey. But he's got a little hand, his tails, his nose, and his eyes all painted up. So if you don't know, garage kits are one-day event kind of things that you can only buy at the convention of Wonderfest. And then after that, the license goes away and they're not able to sell them anymore. So if you want them, well, make sure you get them when you can. This is the Wonderfest. That's happened. It's already happened because this is in Japan. It'll have already ended. Unless it's a couple of days event. I don't know, because it says Wonderfest 2025 event on the 9th of February, which is today, literally today, in Chiba, Japan. which I've never been to. I have not been to Japanland. The license only allows the kit to be sold at the convention, and they won't be. It's what I just said, and they won't be available outside of that. This garage kit will be sold for 7,000 yen, which equates to $46 dues. It's probably expensive because you can only sell it the one day. So once you sell it, it's done and dusted. But we have the one colored prototype. It looks like he's got some dots around his nose. So I don't know whether that means he will have whiskers that you can either implant yourself later after the convention, or the whiskers will come with the figure, or the whiskers will just be added on later. I don't know. I have no idea. I guess we'll know once, I guess, people start farting up images of this thing. We also have the the non-painted versions. He's in the shrugging, shit. I've shit my pants. Oh well, you know. The tail is a separate piece. Everything else seems to be one big lump. So if you ever thought to yourself, yeah, I'd like a little rat trap, well, you've either bought him or you haven't. I imagine these will turn up on secondary market for much higher prices, as these things tend to do. Is any newer posts on these things? No. We did the latest post was, I wish this was painted. This was a painted affordable to buy. So Fubi would have been perfect. Yeah, that's unfortunately not how this works. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't remember Beast Wars. Only old people like you and me know what Beast Wars is anymore. I'm afraid, chat. The youth don't like Beast Wars. It's shitty CGI woo-woo. Like Reboot. Fucking Reboot! Fucking bollocks is all I say. Reboot my arsehole. Ooh, lads. So that's Rat Trap. We haven't seen what the Optimus Primal looks like. I'm not sure whether we will, just because the event was today. Unless, like, tomorrow is when it pops up, but that would be odd. But yeah, Rat Trap. That's neat. That's cool. We got a bust statue, G1, which is obviously G1 Optimus Prime Convoy by the Good Smile Company, the people that bring you Nendroids. Many women figures from their Figma line, and they also have many women from their Nendroid line as well. VTubers to boot. Oh boy. American VTubers too, which is kind of strange to think about. The Japanese manufacturer Good Smile has made this bust. I didn't really know that they were made for... the Good Smile did busts and statues, but I guess that's because, you know, busts and statues don't really do too much for me. It would be sculpted by a company called Star Space. So I guess it's under the Good Smile company name, but then Star Space are the sculptors of it. There's no concrete information about the size, the price, release date, but stay tuned and we'll have, they'll have more updates for you. So we only have the one image. It is certainly a bust of Optimus Prime. It is cock upwards. He has no legs and no arms, but they're these weird, like, nippy, clumpy things where his arms would be. So I don't know whether that's suggesting something will be able to be attached to those places, because, you know, Optimus Prime doesn't have big, gigantic clamps on the side of his body, as far as I'm aware. He's not got a animation accurate look. It's a stylized look. So his boobs are very long and wide. His abs are very sharp and tight. He doesn't have a full on anime aesthetic, but it's definitely more stylized, I guess, in an anime-esque direction rather than, you know, what we'd have, you know, previously with the G1 cartoon. I'm trying to think, does he... I thought for a second he might look a little bit like MP1, and then I squinted and then went, no, not really. He's a bit too angular for that. I do like the head sculpt. He's got very big, pointy Batman ears. They're almost a little bit too long, I think. For Optimus Prime, like if Prime headbutts you, he's stabbing you in the eyes. He's poking your eyes out with both of his little antennae doodahs. So that's maybe a little intense. But yeah, you know, if you after another bust of Optimus Prime, I'm sure there are one or two at this point with nearly 50 years of Transformers. Oh God, well we're getting there. I mean, man, are we closer to 40 years of Transformers or 50 years of Transformers? I can't remember offhand. I have a feeling we're getting closer to 50. At least 45. Surely. Surely. But yeah, no other information on this guy. He'll be coming. He'll be a bust. Will they do more? Will they do a Starscream? Will they do a Soundwave? Will they do a Bimblebee? I don't know. You start off with Optimus Prime, and then I guess you see how it goes. You usually do Megatron next, and then it's Bumblebee and Soundwave. After that is usually how these things go for the most part. So I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one, baby. Next up, we have colored images. Kind of interesting. Of the Monster Hunter crossover with Transformers collaboration figure, the Silver Rathalos Prime. Oh, that's right, because we saw the standard Rathalos, which was the red version. For those that don't know, the Rathaloses come in various forms. I wonder if they'll very slightly remold it to be a Rathian as well, because that would, Rathians are, from what I remember, reasonably similar visual-wise. And then all you have to do is, slap it green, and then you can also slap it as, what color are Rathians? Are they the gold ones? Or is it Rathaloses that can be gold as well? There's another version of them, either way. But yeah, this is another version, or slightly retooled, a slightly redecorated version. No retooling, seemingly. It still has the Optimus Prime with the weird glasses, goggles on his head. Let's read what it says. This figure looks like a silver and white redeco of the previous revealed Monster Hunter X Transformers Prime Rathalos, or Rathalos Prime. It's kind of why I said. Pre-orders for this figure will go live on February 13th. Stay tuned for more updates. Do they have a price, though? What is your price? We'll click on it. We'll see if the link to Twitter Law has a price. We've got hashtags, but we have no price. I guess the price will come in 4 days' time. In 4 days' time, we'll find out how much it is, whether they've beefed up the... Oh, no, never mind. No, wait. No, I thought we'd find the price. It's a price for a different figure. Not sure what this is talking about. What's this post talk about? Silver reservations is a bit delayed. It's also available for pre-order on Amazon in color. Eplink is available. Okay. This was a translated thing, so a little bit fluffy on the words, but okay. No info, but how does he look? He looks like the last one, but white and silver. Looks fine. A little bit dull. I think the red version's a bit more visually interesting. I still have issues with the figure in general being granted. Again, it's a heavy retool of the Air Razor Pterosaur transformation molds thing, whatever you want to call that process. This is just that again, as it was before. The sword's quite nice because they've got this nice kind of transition from the closer to the hilt of the blade, which is more pink, transitioning up to a purpley kind of color to the tip of the blade, which is quite nice. That's okay. I can appreciate that. Gives it a little pop. It's a shame there's not more pop on the robot, but yeah. They wanted the silver version. The silver version is coming. For better or for worse. So last week, I talked about the Transformers Earthspark Deluxe hashtag and Soundwave figure. We saw them in boxes. Now we get to see them out of boxes. And we get to also see them transformed as well. We've also got the price for them and the release date for America. Because you always got to remember these things take a little bit of time to wander over to the U of the K and to Europo. I don't know if it takes them longer to get to Europo than it does in Galande, but I'm not entirely sure. It might do. You can let me know if you know for sure. So, since both of them are deluxe A figures, they're both going to be $19.99 or £19.99 because that's how things work these days. They're both coming out on March in America World this year, so that's not too far off, I suppose. And we actually get to see them in both of their modes. What does it actually say here? Earthspark hashtags, new image set. Lets us see that she's a new mold, which I thought we already knew, but okie dokie. Different from the Takara Tomy release, okay, fair enough, which was a redeco and minor retool of the Hasbro Warrior Class hashtag. Yeah, well, there you go. So it's a brand new mold compared to the Warrior Class version, which I guess makes sense. So Soundwave looks a lot better than I thought it did originally. You can still tell it's a cheaper figure than the Legacy stuff. It clearly doesn't have as much engineering put into it, which again suggests that Hasbro is not catering their marketing and their toy products towards children. Generally speaking, this is just another version of Soundwave coming out. And it looks good. I think it's a decent rendition of what they're going for here. You can see there's no thigh swivels or anything like that, unless the thigh swivels, maybe it's got like a ball joint in the knee, maybe it's something like that. But for the most part, I think they've captured the look of him. And the jet bomber looks pretty good as well. It's obviously got some big, what do you call these kind of joints? Hinge joints? Big hinge joints in hinge joints in the wings where you flip up the wings. You know, can't really help that too much. But I think it generally looks okay. At least from this angle. We have no idea what it looks like from underneath. We only have kind of like a top-down look. So it could be a fucking mess on the underside. Who knows? Generally speaking, I think people are going to be happy to get the Soundwave. People love Soundwave. And the people that like Earthspark really like Earthspark. So, you know, put your money up or shut up about it, I guess. If you loved Earthspark and you didn't buy the product from it, you're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. Support the things that you like, right? If you want more stuff like this and maybe better quality stuff, you've got to support it. Otherwise, you'll get nothing. Damn, man, goddamn, that box is huge for how little he fills it as well. Look at it. He fills the window, but then there's this huge Earthspark bit underneath, which will be fucking empty. I'm not a big fan of the one box fits all kind of mentality. It always looks a bit on the lame side. At least when they were in clamshells, or like they were on the card backs. At least the card back was a consistent size, but then the little bubble on the front could be different shaped, and it didn't look as wasteful. XL Hedge says, finally, a good Earthspark figure. It looks, yeah, I don't know. It might be one of those things where in hand, you can notice more of the issues. And again, the jet mode, we don't know what it's like from underneath. But generally speaking, this looks okay. Hashtag, I think Hashtag doesn't look nearly as good as Soundwave. She's got a lot of back kibble. She's got a big old cape on her back. She's got really fucking weird biceps. The best, for those that can't see what the biceps on her look like, imagine someone got your that arm, that bone, whatever that bone's called with the bicep on it, and then broke it and then curved it so it was bent like a backward C. That's kind of what it looks like. As it kind of, they bend downwards, and then the ball joint has the arms going at like the forearms going at like a normal angle. So it looks really weird and wonky to me. Head sculpt looks good though. It would have been nice if they sculpted some eyes underneath a clear bit of plastic for the visor, but cheapo toy, I suppose. And the wheels are clearly not fully painted on her shins. Half of them are colored because half of them are separate bit of plastic, and then the other half are just purple and just kind of mush with the rest of the body. She comes with a pickaxe that she holds like a gun. Is it a gun? Is it like a Batman grappling hook? I don't know. And then she also has a really, really tiny gun. It's an interesting angle, I suppose. The vehicle mode reminds me of Generations Cup mold. Generations Cup mold. If you remember that one, it's kind of like what do you call these? SUV pickup truck kind of things, for the husband that wants a truck or a hatchback kind of 4x4 kind of vehicle, one of those, but it's a little bit smoother. I think this is a little bit less interesting as a vehicle form compared to her previous one, being the big surveillance vehicle. I thought that was at least unique and interesting. This just feels like a standard, like, it's a car. Yeah, cool, okay. It's purple. It's purple. Yeah, it's a standard car. I don't know. I think, like, if you look at the two of them, Soundwave looks better, right? That's not. I don't think that's me being biased because I think Soundwave is cool generally. I think generally design-wise, Soundwave just looks better. He is primarily just blue, as she is primarily just purple. But I think there's a little bit more going on with Soundwave. I think no, Soundwave. Yeah, Soundwave does have a better color breakup as well, right? Yeah, I think his color breakup in his robot mode is better because he's got the little bit of red on his toes. He's got the big, like standard gray thighs, and then dark gray bits on him, like for the hands and for the penile area. Then he's got the gold highlight around his boob. Then bits of red, then another bit of red, then a bit of silver. While hashtag just has really the standard gray, a little bit of black on the wheels. The red on the inside of a leg, you wouldn't see that too often because it's on the inside of a leg. The big bit of blue on a boob, and then a little bit of silver. Yeah, I think the color breakup on Soundwave looks a bit better. Excel's Head says, now where's my Tarantulas? Oh, buddy. If wishes were kisses, you'd get all of the kisses, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. But since Earthspark is cancelled, as far as I'm aware, I think the show's done. I'm not sure how long the toy line will have, especially the deluxe line, right? Which was already limited for some bizarre fucking reason, because that's how these things go. That's how these go. But there you go. March, $20. If this was more like 12, I'd get it. I might put this on like, if it goes on to UK Amazon, I might put the Soundwave onto a watch list and see if it like just drops in price. If it's on there and if it goes to like 12 quid, I'll buy it. If it's I'm not buying it for 20, you can suck my dick. Boom. Right, we also have another Earthspark figure. It's yet another Optimus Prime. It is the Earthspark Optimus Prime Battle Trailer Official Reel. Let's read the blurb. It's going to be a $40 figure. Pre-orders coming at a later date, so we don't know when. Fallish time, American fall. Inspired by the... What do you mean, inspired by? Oh, is it because he doesn't have... Why does it say inspired by Transformers Earthspark? So it's not Transformers Earthspark. It's inspired by it. Are you sure about that? What does it mean, inspired by? A little bit confused by that. Inspired by Transformers Earthspark animated series. Okay. This Optimus Prime Battle Trailer playset lets kids imagine their own epic adventures. Not involving Earthspark, I guess. Convert the 5-inch Optimus Prime... Oh, it's fairly small. A 5-inch Optimus Prime figure into a truck toy. A toy truck mode in 13 steps. So it's, I guess, the Warrior scale. The deluxe scale, like the Soundwave and whatnot, I would imagine. I can't remember how tall they are. Then attach the playset in trailer mode and roll out. Then convert Optimus Prime action figure into robot mode and flip the blaster on the playset to see it open into a battle station, because we love battle stations for Transformers. The figure can sit in the battle station and man the light-up blaster or the projectile launcher. The light-up blaster or projectile launcher. Load projectiles into the launcher and launch it with the press of a button. I'm pretty sure the light-up blaster is the projectile launcher, right? It just has lights and sounds? I guess? Yeah, it must do. So, how does it look? Because I don't have the deluxe Optimus Prime from this wave, or the Warrior or anything like that, I'm going off what my memory remembers. I mean, this looks okay for like a really basic Optimus Prime. I suppose I'd actually be interested to know how this handles and looks next to the standard Warrior class, Deluxe class Optimus Prime. The trailer's really basic. It seems to be only a couple of parts, like maybe it's 6 bits max, give or take. The sides of the cap, the sides of the trailers flip down, and then there's just a big old gun that's there. And I guess when it says Optimus can man it, I think it just means you can awkwardly place him down in like a spread eagle pose and have the big cannon between his groin to make himself feel like a big man. Yeah, it's I think the trailer to me is the least interesting part about the set. The main interest is how good is the Optimus Prime figure? Is it better or comparable or worse than the previous Optimus Primes that came out? Because I don't think, at least in my eyes, that the trailer justifies it, unless you're a person that really needs an Optimus Prime with a trailer, or you need every Optimus Prime. If you need every Optimus Prime, then I guess this is gonna have to be part of the collection. It's like, yeah, okay. Yeah. No, thank you for the follow.
You're just in time.
Thank you for the follow, Toy. Welcome. We are talking about the Transformers. So, how's this? $40. You might be better off with a Voyager, I think, for that kind of price point. So, that's the guff, that's the crap, that's the woo-woo out the way with. Now we can talk about Megacon and what was revealed at Megacon. We're going to start off with the reveal of the Hearts of Steel line and kind of move from there, because the Hearts of Steel stuff, to me, seems to be is almost a separate line. Want to read my story I made? I'll need to send you a link there. No, it's all right, dude. Thank you. I appreciate it. We're just talking about the local the local news, the weekly news. So this is the Transformers Timelines Comic Edition, Hearts of Steel, Optimus Prime, and Starscream official set. Pre-order information, because we got the information. Well, we got the images. I guess we got the info as well. So these figures are going to be Hasbro Pulse exclusive in the US. I don't know what that means for the UK. I imagine it'll be... Well, it can only in the UK, it can only really be one of two things. It can be one of three things. It can either be, in the UK, a Amazon exclusive, a Hasbro Pulse exclusive for the UK, or a Smith's exclusive. I'm not really sure which they'd go for, to be honest, but okay. So hang on, what am I saying? The pre-orders are going up for the US, at least. I don't know about the UK. 11th of February, so 2 days from now, 1 p.m. Eastern time, I think. Oh, that's for that's for the premium Hasbro members who pay extra for early pre-orders. If you wait 1 hour later, you'll probably be able to pre-order it, though, because that's how this works. So this is the Hearts of Steel Optimus Prime, who turns into a choo-choo train, and Starscream, who turns into a... whatever the fuck that is. Biplane? Question mark? It's kind of weird that we're having Timelines Hearts of Steel stuff, because wasn't Hearts of Steel, like... Oh my god, that was like early IDW, right? That was really early IDW. So it's kind of, I guess, interesting. I'll give it to them. It's at least interesting that this is happening. It feels almost, well, not, I don't want to say it feels too late. Jai says a long time ago. Yeah, it feels like a long time ago. For those not aware, there have already been third-party figures of both of these. That came out, again, a long time ago. Jai, who made these? Because you got them, I think. Or at least you have the Optimus Prime. Do you remember what the company was that made these off the top of your head? Because I don't. So, we'll talk about the vehicle modes first, because I've got them on screen. So, the Optimus Prime train, it generally looks like... I guess Mastermind Creations. Thank you, Jai. Yes, obviously, that me being stupid. How does the train mode look? It's got some gaps around the what do you call it? The cab, where the train drivers would go. As it seems like those panels are just kind of fold up, and I wonder if there's a back piece for that cab, or if it's just open. It looks like it might just be open. If it is just open, that would be a bit of a bummer. As it'd be nice if there's just a bit of red plastic that just kind of closes over it, just to cover up the fact that, there's a big red dump thing here. Blue roof. Trying to see if there's a very obvious thigh, but I don't mind the thigh. I more have an issue with potentially the back of the train mode. Generally, I think the train looks okay. Yeah, it looks fine. Starscream's biplane thing looks about as weird as I remember it looking, so unlike the train's trying to be a real thing. You know, the train's trying to be a thing that actually exists. The weird biplane thing, because it's nothing, it's not a real thing. I wave my hand and go, fucking whatever. Who cares? It looks fine for what it is. Whatever it is, it looks fine. Robot modes, again, I'd say Starscream because he's this very strange shape. He's got basically a Batman glider suit on his back with the little propeller things going off. He's got the tri-bladed propeller boob as well, singular boob. Again, he looks pretty much like how I remember the Mastermind Creation version, or whoever did that, so I think that's solid. And his null rays seem to be... I guess it's a minigun kind of gun. I think that's what they're trying to go for. I haven't been 100% sold on how it looks, but the miniguns instead of the null rays, I guess look okay. Optimus Prime again, I'd say he suffers a little bit more. He's got some very thin thighs. His little front skirt looks like it's almost not covering as much as they were hoping it might. I think for a price or... Jai, I know that you want this, so how much in British pounds would you want to spend for this? Because I assume, because I don't see any actual details on this, I assume they'd be deluxes? Deluxes, maybe? 2 deluxes? Or is Starscream a Voyager and Primer Deluxe? I don't know. Oh, hang on. I wonder if these will sell well. Hasbro would be open to making them as Voyager size, so they have more room to make them look better in areas. Oh, maybe they are just deluxe then. Maybe they are just deluxe. I'm not sure. This is just people in the comments guessing. Jai says, want question mark or expect? Want for 25 pounds? I mean, if you go down to the docks and you wrap your mouth around someone, you can... I'm sure you could get it for 25. Expect for 45.99. If it's 2 deluxes, I don't know, because I'm wondering if the premium exclusive nature of their release will kind of bump the price up more. And it comes in a fancy box. Look at the box. Ooh, it's a rot fancy box. It is. Ooh. So it might be more like 50. I don't know. Hopefully it would only be around the 40s to 45, but, you know, if Hasbro can, they will. And I can see them bumping up the price just a little bit more. No, it might be more, because a deluxe from Hasbro at the moment is 25. A brand new deluxe is like £25. And if this is 2 deluxes, surely the minimum they'd sell it for is 50. Surely they wouldn't sell it for less than 50. Man, what if they do it for 60? That would be that'd be a bit rough. Yeah, okay, these have to be deluxes. They're both 19 steps each. They have to be deluxes. I like the idea of them. I'm not sure I like the price of them. I think these could have easily been put in the Legacy line, and they would have worked quite nicely there, because these are strange, unique, different kind of Transformers, but I know why they weren't put in that line, because they are not... Is it fair to say they're not collector-friendly? And when I say they're not collector-friendly, I mean specifically they're not G1, and they're not a cartoon. They're from a very old... a very old comic from the early run of IDW. And for the most part, when people think of IDW, they don't think about the early stuff. I think when people think IDW, they think specifically of More Than Meets the Eye onwards. You know, that era of IDW, rather than pre that, which was okay to, oh boy, that's, okay. Woof. Simon says that these store exclusives, they are reported, Simon, as, for America, the Hasbro Pulse exclusives, and we have no information for the rest of the world. I'm assuming there will be Hasbro Pulse exclusives, at least for the UK. I don't know about other places, though. If you've got the Hasbro Plus thing, or the Pulse Premium, or you can order on 1 o'clock ET time on the 11th, if you're in the US. If you're anywhere else, Who knows? Who knows where they'll be? Who knows? I don't know if these will sell out. I'll be interested to see if they do. I don't think they... I guess it depends how many they've made. I don't think these would go crazy and sell out all over the shop. I don't think they would. Because, I mean, we're not Japan. We don't live in a Japanese country. Thus, the train Optimus Prime, people don't care generally about trains. Even though trains are pretty fucking cool, people don't generally care for trains. Weird biplane Starscream, I don't know. Again, an attachment to IDW, early IDW. XL Hedge says, if Timelines is going to be the new yearly thing, I kind of want figures based on the World War II G.I. Joe crossover. Would that require a license from Devil's Due? I wonder how easy that would be to... Like, who owns the license for that? If Hasbro owns the license for that, that'd be easy. And sure, yeah, fucking why not? Do it. I don't think I'd pick the World War II G.I. Joe crossover. I would just pick... Oh, wait, they can't just do G.I. Joe because they've already done their shit version of the Hiss Tank and their other shit crossover figures. But I wouldn't have been against, say, the first G.I. Joe crossover with Transformers where Optimus Prime was the Hiss Tank, etc., etc. You know, that would have been quite cool. Starscream was a Night Viper. That would have been neat. Or was he a Rattler? Either way, doesn't matter. Simon Tang says, my Haslab membership expired. Not renewing it. Planning to cut my spending this year. Not a bad call. Not a bad call. Saving money is never a bad thing. I don't think I need to tell anybody that. Saving your money, if you need to, is not a terrible idea. There will be more toys in the future. And depending on the kind of collector you are, you might be the kind of collector who constantly replaces figures. And if you're that kind of collector, then yes, taking a small financial break is definitely not a bad idea because a better version of said figures will probably come out in the future at some point. But these are these two. Interesting. I'm mildly frowny-faced about how much the price will be, as we don't know yet. I don't think. Hang on. Yeah. Let's quickly check Hasbro Pulse. I don't think they'll have anything because it'll take me to the UK one. No, they've got Liokaiser, who we'll talk about. Don't worry about that. Yeah, they don't have that up yet. I guess well, it's not the 13th, so why would they? I suppose. All right, jump back. But that wasn't all for the Hearts of Steel reveal. For some reason, they're continuing with another 2-pack. On the second day, they revealed that the Hearts of Steel, Megatron, and Bimblebee are going to be coming as well. Now, as far as I'm aware, and I hope, chat, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, Bumblebee has been done at least once, but I don't know about the Megatron. I don't know if this Megatron, this kind of weird mortar cannon, spiky wheel design has ever been done, even third-party wise? Is that true? I don't know. Has it been done before, chat? Let me know. Jai says Megs is the only one that hasn't been done. Oh, well, there you go. So this is a first. Again, Jai, I know for a fact that Jai will definitely be getting this. That's good for Jai. And it's a neat design. I think there's some minor issues with it. We'll talk about the other figures, like the Skybite and Heatwave in a bit, and the Hearts of Steel, the Haslabs stuff we're talking about. These little bits first. So we'll look at Bimblebee. The face sculpt looks a little bit like he's like one of those dogs with a really flat face. It looks like Bee's face is being hit with a pan a little bit, and it's a little bit flatter than I'd like. The general detail is sculpted well. It's just a little on the flat side, I think. The robot mode looks pretty good. I'll be interested in Jai again. Any of chat. Do any of you? I'm sure Jai has the Bumblebee train that came out from Mech Fan Ideas, Mech Lab Fan Idea things. Either way, does it look like a similar transformation? Does it look similar? Because Prime doesn't have the little grindy things on the wheels to help the train go around. Bumblebee does, and I remember the Mech Lab Fan tech bro jiggery pokery ideas toy did. And it looks fairly similar. I don't know how close this is. I do, and the others. So how close is this to those, would you say? Near exact. Ooh, because they're all based on the same concept art. So, I mean, specifically, like, does it look like they transform in a similar way? Because obviously the designs are going to be the same, obviously. I mean, specifically the way that it looks like from what you can interpret from the, the images, from having both of them, from having these images and having the third-party figures. Does it look like it'll transform in a similar manner? Because if it does transform in a similar manner, that's interesting. Also, a little bit of a shame for those that maybe already own it. Yes, it looks to be the same transformation. Ooh, Jai. Ooh, Jesus. Woof. Hello, Rodimus Power Toy Collector. Welcome. I hope you're doing well. Hello. Jai says, oh no, I've read that. XL Hedge says third party did be. Yes, they did. Yeah, I knew that already. XL Hedge also says, honestly surprised they didn't use B's late IDW1 name. I don't remember that. So yeah, if the transformation for B is the same, then that's a little bit. I don't know how to feel about that. But yeah, B looks fine. Megatron. We don't have a. Why do they have two pictures exactly the pissing same of Megatron? Megatron, the cannon mode, I think looks solid. It looks like a cannon with big spiky wheels. From what I remember of the concept art, again, I think it looks. Again, from what I remember, what I would hope it would look like. And Megatron's robot mode, I don't like the head sculpt. I'm not a big fan of the head sculpt. His head looks a little bit too long. It looks a bit too tall and almost a little bit thin, proportionally wise. And I don't know if that's because they've gave him a black helmet, which granted does match the rest of his body and the original design. But I don't know if it's because his helmet is black and it would have looked a little less weird gray. I'm not entirely sure. But again, this is going to be a must-have for anybody that wanted this design and they've never had this opportunity to get it. It's got this same goddamn hip design, which I fucking hate on so many Transformers these days. It's pissing hips. Ugly as sin. But apart from that, yeah, it's canon Megatron. Not a lot of oomph to him color-wise, but I think it looks good for what it is. Little hiccups here and there. More kind of glamour shots of the Prime. Did Prime have this squared off boob chest? I thought this front of his train mode in the shots that we were just looking at looked a little bit more curvy. No, I guess it didn't. Hang on. No, it didn't. Okay, it was blending and I'm just being stupid. Okay, that's fine. Starscream's head's a little wider as well than I thought, but I think this is accurate as well. The weird, almost bat ears to his design for the head. Yeah, that looks okay. Back of Megatron, yeah, it's fine. He's not hollow. That's good. Good to see the toy is not hollow. Same for Prime. Looks like he's not hollow here. I can't see because he's the robot mode is in the way, but I think there might be a back panel covering the back of his train mode. The cab, which yes, there is. Okay, it doesn't perfectly do it. It looks like there's a small gap in there. But in these images, I was worried that this was just a big old open space, and it seems like that's not the case. It is going to be somewhat covered, not completely. There's still going to be a square hole in the back for I don't know reasons, probably due to the robot mode of the transformation, and there's a small gap because clearly they don't clip together. But okay, that's fine. Back of B looks okay. B comes with a hammer. John Henry Adams will be proud. Is that who it was? John Henry Adams and Bumblebee on the tracks? I don't remember. Something like that. But that's those two, the Hearts of Steel lines. So we've got 4 designs. I guess if they wanted to keep going, there's the Shockwave big boat, which I remember Mastermind Creations also did. And then there's the Insecticon 3-part train. Did that ever come out? Did Mastermind Creations ever release that Insecticon train, or did they? Because I remember seeing like prototypes of it, I'm sure, or at least concept art. But apart from that, was there any other designs from Hearts of Steel, or was it just like that for the most part? Let me know, chat. I'm interested. We also got reveals. Again, we're going to be talking about these guys in a bit, but we're going this way. So we got the reveal images of Hook and Long Haul. I was going to call him Hall. Hall. Jai says no one. Oh, fair enough. Okay, thank you, Jai. Hook and Long Haul. Wait, we got little videos. Don't get me flagged. Okay, I'm not going to play it. Can I mute the video? That's a great question. That should be YouTube, right? YouTube button? Yes, there we go. Okay, I can play this and hear the sound and you can't. I wish these were stop animation. Are these stop animation or are these CG animation? I can't tell, but we got one for both of them. I think I don't know. I don't know if they're stop animation or CG animation. Either way. All right. Here's another question then, chat. For the Studio Series Constructicons, do they transform like the Combiner Wars ones? Or do they transform differently? Or are we not sure? I ask because I'm sure there are people out there who've watched reviews of these figures that are probably already out at the moment for certain people. If you know who's dick to suck and you're a Transformers reviewer, you probably got your hands on these guys already, I assume. Or, maybe you've gone to the high seas and got them that way. But yeah, if they do transform like the Combiner Wars ones, please let me know. I'm interested to know. We got the images of the two robot mode. We got the fancy promotional images, and I think they were in cases at Megacon as well. We see the big back trailer that Long Haul's going to be hauling that has a lot of parts to make Devastator, which we knew about. And then we see, if you just bought this pack, what you will get and how they will combine. So you get the groin, thighs, Long Haul connected with Hook and the Devastator head as well. I'm guessing, is this little black nub here how the arms connect into the torso? This bit here? I don't see like dedicated like a big clicky things where you go and you thrust it into the side of his body, and that's the hefty connection point where it goes click, and then you get the arm and you go clack, and it'll go maybe they come with the arm pieces. Maybe I'll stand back for a moment and go, whoa, Andy, calm your titties down. They'll come with the arm pieces. They're not going to come with these guys. Calm. I don't know. Let's see if we can find some real images of the Constructicons, because I'm sure there must be. I will blab and I will talk. It's not too long, I think, until the first two figures are actually out, if I'm right. Am I right? They should be relatively soon. You have color images. We've got they showed off the full prototype for Devastator in uncolored prototype images, which we've seen before. He looks as gray as he did. Ain't that fun? I guess we don't have in hand. Oh no, no! I'm lying. I'm a dirty lie. I'm a lying slutbag. I apologize, chat. I don't mean to be a lying slutbag. We do have in hand images of the well, not in hand, but we have them from the convention of Long Haul and Hook. Yeah, they're looking good. Excel Head says, now where can I find a Cthulhu to go with these figures for the invasion? Okay, Excel Hedge. Timelines, crossover, Hearts of Steel, Violent Jiger. We can finally get a Violent Jiger figure. This is how we do it. We have the Cthulhu Violent Jiger crossover figure. That's how we do it. That's how I finally get a Violent Jiger figure. Do I really want one? I don't really want a Violent Jiger figure. I just want the ability to say, see, they finally did him. They finally did Violent Jiger. You can all suck my dick. Simon Tang says there's photos of the backside. Check that out. Oh, okay. Of the combined form? Okay, we'll have a look at that in a moment. You should. Excel Head says you should see the massive Long Haul back hump Devastator will have. Oh, I think that must be what Simon's talking about. Let's have a look at the individual robot modes first. Okay, it's a shame that Hook doesn't have his hook painted. It is in purple. It would have been nice if that was black. The hook was gray. it's not a big issue, obviously. It just would have looked a little bit nicer than it being purple. Longhole's Robo Mode, again, looks good. These fucking hips. I fucking hate these hip designs. I'll never let it go. But Longhole looks a way a lot better than the CW version. Which, granted, obviously is not a huge bar to cross, but yeah, you know, remember that's the last long haul most people have had, generally speaking. So yeah, that looks pretty solid. And Hook looks very similar to the Combiner Wars, very similar. That's why I'm asking: do these transform the same as the Combiner Wars ones? Are these just? Is this just like Combiner Wars 2.0? I'll tell you another thing I'm not too fond of here. The way that they've got the bicep swivel for Hook, they're using a mushroom peg. A disc peg thing. I kind of wish this was closed off so it looks like the arm might, as you twist it, might just come out of its joint a little bit too easily. It might not. It might not when we get the real one, but that's it looks a little bit close to me. The reason I say it looks like the Combiner Wars one is because of how the shoulders are done for Hook. We've seen in the pre-order images that these can move up as well, so it's not going to limit the articulation, but this really reminds me of Combiner Wars. Do we have any more images? There's Scrapper. Again, Scrapper's vehicle mode looks very similar to the Combiner Wars one. I'm pretty sure I saw people complaining like, oh, it's not just the Combiner Wars one. But it might be. It might be the Combiner Wars one, just a little better. I'm still probably gonna get it because I never got the Combiner Wars one. So, and these do look. These are gonna be better than that, obviously. Scrapper. And there's Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher still looks a little bit bad. He needs more color on him, but that's Bone Crusher. Let's see. Devastator's Dumpy. There's his fronty. There's a real close-up shot of his peen. You really needed a back shot of that. Why would you ever store the gun like this? For those not watching, they've got an image of Mixmaster in leg mode, and they've put the gun on the front of his what do you call it, bumper, like horizontally. Is it to give him like extra foot toe thing? Because it looks weird as fuck to just have a gun on your toe. All right, they don't have it here. Gun toe, my favorite kind of gun. It's not quite a toe, it's not quite a gun, it's a gun toe. Gun toe. This it? No, come on. I thought I clicked on you. Let's see that Devastated Dumpy, please. Okay. Yeah, it's still good. It still will have the issues of gaps, which I wonder if third parties will have filler parts to like go on here, because that's really obnoxious, I find. Oh my god. Oh no, that is a Dumpy. Oh no. Let's see the ass. Go back to the ass. Oh no, what? Oh, that's they've tried to make it look less weird by having like two guns on it. It is literally just Longhole's feet are just like it's like what's it called? What's that weird procedure? It's not the Brazilian butt lift, is it? Where they get a load of fat from the rest of your body and inject it into your ass, right? Where they've gone too far. It's whatever that treatment is. It's like that, where you see someone's had a butt enhancement and they've gone way too far with it. Poor Devastator's ass is fucking gigantic. Yeah. Again, if this is primarily the Combiner Wars one, I kind of wish they'd found a bit more of an elegant way to do this. Because if you are looking at how the arms are done, they're forearm pieces that go over the forearm parts of the arms, which is what the Combiner Wars one did, right? And they even have the same, like, the fingers don't pose for this. They're the same kind of pin going through the knuckles, all four fingers connected kind of grip. It looks like as well. Yeah, they don't look like individually posing fingers. This might be a topic I have to talk about, because I feel I'm going to be talking about this when I talk about Skybite in a moment. XL Hedge says, this new Devastator is making me yearn for an updated Hercules from TFC. So this it doesn't make you want this figure. It makes you want an updated TFC figure. Wasn't TFC like wasn't it the first company to complete a Devastator? I'm pretty sure it was. That was like the first time I went to auto assembly, kind of when third party figures were really kicking off hard. Pardon. I'm glad on some Studio Series. Okay. Well, fair enough. Let's scroll this back up to figures we're going to be talking about in a momento. I suppose we could talk about them now. We also got images of Heatwave, who was clearly done out of the Legacy Bulkhead mold, which me and Mikey, I'm sure me and Mikey said this ages ago, right? Me and Mikey said that this just makes the most sense. That this is the figure that they made, and then they made it into Bulkhead. Bulkhead was the pre-tool. We were wondering when this figure was going to be coming out, and now it is. We have the Heatwave figure from Rescue Bots, and it looks appropriate. It looks like this is what the mold was made for. I don't care about Rescue Bots, but I think this looks pretty good, actually. The fire truck mode looks like a baby's fire truck, which is exactly what it should look like. It doesn't look like a real fire truck. It looks like a fire truck that was made from the Rescue Bot show, where you look at it and it's like, oh, it's a little baby cute little fire truck. Wee wah woo wah. It's like, okay, no, that's fine. It's applicable. It works. Explains why the front of the cab mode is so fucking ginormous. It works. It looks like you can detach the ladder or have it pegged on his back. Maybe he can hold it. I don't know if Heatwave was a big use of the clothes rack or the clothing rack to dry your clothes on, but I'm guessing that's what it would be, because using a ladder as a weapon generally isn't good for a shield, and it looks like the peg is in the middle of it, so it would be kind of shield, not like a WWE fight where they pick up a ladder and then smack each other over the head with it. That's effective. It's a long weapon that you bonk people with. I don't think anyone in WWE would use the ladder as a shield. I don't think so. It also comes with 2 translucent weapons. I don't know why they're translucent, but he comes with a translucent axe, which is incredibly short. Incredibly short. Imagine you got the head of an axe, and you got a stick that's maybe about, I don't know, like what? Yeah, about 5 inches long. And then you put the head of the axe on top of that 5 inches long stick. And the head of the axe is like covering your fist, effectively. That's how small this axe looks. And he also comes with a twin-barreled, I guess, water blaster gun. It's fine. And again, I don't know why it's translucent. Yeah, but okay, fine. No, I think this is good. I'd buy this on sale. I'd be much more willing to buy this than the Bulkhead. I'm not quite sure really why Rescue Bots was done for the adult collector line, as this is. I don't know how much appeal the Rescue well, they did Chase. So what the fuck am I talking about? They did Chase. Did we decide if Chase was the pre-tool? Was Chase, well, because it was done into Cliffjumper. Was Cliffjumper the pre-tool, and then Chase was the real version? I can't remember. I think it was meant to be the proper mold for him. I'm not entirely sure. So we've got 2 of the Rescue Bots now. We just need Exelhead mentions that as well. Exelhead says, now we need Blades and Boulder. Could you do Boulder? No, you couldn't do Boulder from Bone Crusher. That's not how his transformation works. I'm trying to think. Is there a digger? Maybe if you did some fancy molding, maybe you could do Armada Scavenger and then heavily retool into Boulder. I'm talking heavy retooling, not just light retooling, like heavy retooling. Maybe you could do that. Blades being a fat helicopter. I don't know who you'd make him as the post tool, and who you'd make the pre tool from. XL Hedge says, kinda with Heatwave, got to have the riot shield. Yeah, but it's not a shield. It's got gaps in it. That's a gap. That's a gap. This is mostly a gap. This is a gap. This is a gap. It's not gonna do well for a shield. XL Hedge also says, it's translucent because Energon, power up and energize. Is that a thing from the cartoon, from Rescue Bots? Like, this isn't the Allspark subline from the 07 movie, or the weaponizer gimmick. But maybe that was a thing that actually happened in the show where they powered up and energized. If so, fair enough. Fine. It's appropriate if that's the case. If that's just a haha making fun of Andy, okay. Let's find some real shots of him. Okay, real shots. How's he look? Yeah, he looks good. He looks good. I think the back of the fire engine mode is a little bit on the rough side, unless this is not transformed correctly, which it's Hasbro, so it could be the case. The hands are quite visible in the back. That was the thing with Bulkhead, right? His shield thing, his like tartan canopy thing, was able to hide a lot of, I guess, any of the stuff in the back. It being Heatwave and it being a ladder, it's less likely you can hide anything. Less likely you definitely won't be able to hide anything, which is maybe a bit of a shame. Yeah, the arms are very... I don't think this is transformed right. Looks like a fucking mess in the case. This is a mess. Someone didn't do a good job transforming it at all. Wait, what are these gray bits? Oh, those are his thighs. Okay, I thought those were his arms. No. These bits are his thighs. Okay, yeah. These have to tighten up a little bit. This has to be a little bit closer. They haven't got the knees done correctly, I don't think. Is that waist done correctly? No, they've untransformed the waist, so he's at a bit more of a strange angle. No, regardless, this looks okay. This looks good enough for me to buy on a sale for a figure that I really don't care too much about. I know nothing about. I can't say I don't care about him. I know nothing about him. The next one is Skybite. If I remember, we saw that Skybite was coming from leaks and reveals and all that jazz. So here's the new Skybite figure. The last Skybite figure we had was... Generations? I think it was a Generations one? I remember it was the curved body. It didn't look quite right. It looked a bit weird. But it was a new transformation from... This is just the Beast Wars toy. Sorry, well, the Beast Wars Cyber Shark mold / RID Skybite mold. It is just that, but with joints. And I don't know if anybody else is noticing this at the moment with Hasbro. But it feels like Hasbro has decided to say fuck it a little bit for making new Transformers. And a lot of this new stuff coming out seems to be, at least from my perspective, the old toys just with more joints. We can apply that to... Seemingly, we can apply that to the Studio Series Devastator, who seems to be the Combiner Wars one. This is clearly the Beast Wars figure, just with more joints and whatnot. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess if you're trying to capture the look of the original toy, or the original look of the figure, it's maybe not a bad way to go, but it also feels a little bit corner cutty. I'm not being out of line here by saying that, I don't think, right? You can see where I'm coming from, because it saves on production. You've still got to make the mold and everything like that, obviously, because you've got to make the new joints and stuff, but it is like a little bit less out of the development budget, I would imagine, where you can just go, well, let's take most of how the toy transforms and just update it a bit. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't an entirely bad thing for Skybite, because the Cyber Shark mold, I don't really think I've ever had a good time transforming it. It's one of those figures where you transform me like, yeah, okay, I'm done transforming this. I don't need to transform it again. It's fine. he comes with his missile launcher, but he doesn't have the missiles for it, so it looks a bit stubby. The shark fins are removable, just like on the original one as well. Nice thing about this one, obviously, is he's not going to be at a weird curved angle. He is going to be a flat shark boy, which not entirely bad. This opens up the possibility of at least, I would say, minimum 2 extra redos of this figure. One into a repaint of Cyber Shark. Fine, that makes sense. It's a worse color scheme than Skybite's color scheme. It's a much worse color scheme. But there's also hopefully the chance that they'll remold this into Hellscream. And then maybe we'll get Hellscream. We already have Dinobots, so we could get Thrustor. Because we got him in Kingdom, so we could technically get Dirge from Waspinator. The only one we're missing is we don't have a wolf. We don't have the wolf for Max B. What was his name for Beast Wars? Was it Wolfgang? Something like that. We don't have the wolf. If we did, we could then get all of those guys from Beast Wars 2nd, the Cyber Beast, and I'd be okay with that. That'd be neat. It'd be pretty fun. I think that'd be a good idea. How they'd release it is obviously a different matter. But I think a minimum, I could see this being used twice. I don't think that's out of pocket to say that. Skybite should be the herald of a new Transmetal toys. Of new Transmetal toys. Seriously, Hasbro, give us Transmetals. Well, I mean, like I say, they could do Cyber Shark. It's an easy repaint. It's a fucking boring repaint, as I've said twice already. But it is an avenue they could go down if they wanted. If not, someone's going to make a custom. Because, I mean, easy enough to do, right? So, again, I think this is good and bad. I'm disappointed that it is effectively, seemingly, the original figure, just a little bit better. And not something a little bit more interesting. But, you know, I don't know. It leaves a bit of a sour taste in my mouth. Feels like Hasbro's doing what Hasbro's doing with the Marvel figures and just kind of reusing mold after mold after mold and really milking it a little bit too hard. But I think it's harder to do with Transformers just with how Transformers work. I don't know. People are happy. I've seen people, shitting their pants over this, and I'll get it because it'll be a good version of Skybite. It does look better. No doubt about it, it looks better. It just, like I say, leaves a bit of a sour taste in my mouth. He does have a fucking giant carved out bit of plastic for his arm, which the original one didn't have. Oh, he's not going to have the little stupid gimmick where you spin the wheel on the bottom of his tail and his claw thing moves around. His claw is on a separate piece and he'll spin it manually, but there's no gimmick there for you to do it yourself. Obviously, that makes sense, but something that's worth pointing out, I suppose. Yeah, Skybite, there we go. That's not a terrible reveal, I suppose. And then, of course, we have the big reveal, the new Haslab figure being Liokaiser, which I don't think is a huge surprise. But I saw a lot of people who are super excited about it, and I understand why. The problem is, chat, the day it was revealed was the day I completed my Iron Factory Liokaiser figure. So, let's head back to Shozi. Okay, let's head back to Shozi, because I think they should have some finished... well, someone will have posted some images of the Liokaiser figure, probably on Skyhawk, right? Since he was the last one to come out. So yeah, let's have a look at a side-by-side between... I mean, if I want to be really mean... I will be really mean. We will do robot comparisons, vehicle comparisons, and combiner comparisons. Because I'm a big old bitch. And I think for the prices that people are going to be having to pay for a Haslab exclusive, I think this is fine to compare them. Okay, so yeah, excellent. There we go. So this is how Liokaiser looks from Iron Factory. Okay, they've gone for the animation style, so he's got the boobs over the extra green bits over the boobs. The nose cone of Leo Zak is facing forward, etc., etc. I think these pieces are extra, but fine, whatever. And now we look at the Hasbro version, and they've clearly gone for the toy design. because the cockpit or the wings, the nose cone for Liozak is facing backwards, like the original toy. It's backwards facing, which I think is a bit of a shame. We've also got the hands, which are stored inside the robot mode. This seems to not be following the standard that Hasbro has kind of been going with the combiners at the moment, which are the combiner parts are separate, so we can make it a nice animation accurate figure, like with Devastator, like with Menasor, like with Superion. This is what we can assume is what is going to be the case with the Combaticons as well, with Bruticus. This is all seems like it's all going to be self-contained in the robot, and I don't know why they've decided to do that, because it seems like it's going against the design aesthetic that Hasbro is kind of setting with the combiners at the moment. So it feels, to me, very odd. It feels like a weird way to go. Otherwise, it's an okay combine mode. It looks good enough. But again, if you compare it to the Iron Factory version, again, we can compare the prices as well in a moment. The head's a little bit on the small side. He's very broad chest-wise. Compared to this one, which has a much bigger head to kind of pull it all into proportion. With the Iron Factory one, the articulation's gonna be a little bit. His wings on his boobs do have a joint to allow the wings to flip forward, so he can move his arms forward. Not an issue needed on the Iron Factory one because of how the wings are stored. They're more tight and compact in there, so he has no issue with the wings banging together. Also, the robot modes for Drillhorn and Kill Bison obviously are very visible on the inside of the legs. The Iron Factory one, it's again pretty tidy because these the entire legs are completely separate pieces, and I'll admit it's not desperately satisfying making the leg modes for Drillhorn and Kill Bison for the Iron Factory version. You just transform them into vehicle modes, you untransform their treads, and then you just kind of slot them into the leg. But the legs look really good, and they're really tight and really secure. So, I'll give it this is a more... it's more of an interesting process to make them into a leg, I would say, for the Hasbro version, so I'll give them that. Now it's time to be really mean. As we look at the individual robot mode. So we've got the individual robot mode here for Liozak. And let's go for the individual robot mode for Liozak for, what do you call it? Iron Factory. Let's do that, Jack, because this is how we make the world cry. we throw on a glass of water. We make people wake up and smell the disgusting roses. Okay. Chat, I want you to tell me, what do you think visually looks better? Do you think the Hasbro robot mode looks better? Or do you think the Iron Factory version looks better? So this is the Iron Factory version. This is the Hasbro version. Again, Iron Factory, Hasbro. Iron Factory, Hasbro. Man. XL Hedge says, well, at least the market will be flooded with Combiner War Liokaiser's. Is that a good thing? I mean, okay, another positive is this Haslab one. This is better than the Combiner Wars Liokaiser, because that was fucking shite. That was unabashedly shite. I am trying to remember if the 4 individual robot modes for Guy Hawk, Hellbat, Kill Bison, and Drillhorn. I'm trying to remember what their robot modes looked like. Hang on, let's do that as well. Let's combine. We can't do it with Liozak because Liozak and Jaruga didn't have Combiner Wars figures because of the stupid Combiner Wars idea. So let's actually get Combiner Wars. Who we start off with? Kill Bison. Combiner Wars Kill Bison. Okay, let's bring up these shots. I'll open them in Windows. So there's Kill Bison, Drillhorn. Do we have a double shot of them? No, that'll do. That's fine. That'll do, Pig. And then Does it actually show us the figure? At the bottom there, that'll do. That'll be fine. I'm just getting my resources, chat. I didn't plan this ahead. Is it Guy? Yes, Guy, and then Hawk for Guy Hawk. Guy Hawk, and then Hellbat. I think this is the fairest thing to do, to combine them all, or like compare them all together. That's just the fair way of doing things, I'd say. Okay, but we'll do them when we come to them. All right, when we get to them. Boop. So, Liokaiser, I don't think from Hasbro looks desperately good. He's got a weirdly shaped head. He's very boxy. And I think it's very obvious from how if you look at the vehicle mode, it's incredibly obvious that it transforms it's so basic. Unless these are mistransformed, it's going to transform about as much as the original one did. And the original one had 5 steps. 6 if we make each individual wing separate, and 6 if we make the foot each flipping of the foot down separate as well. So it seems like this is going to do very, very little in terms of transformation. The hands don't fold away, even though the hands are on ball joints, and the forearm is hollowed out, so it looks like they can fold away, but for some reason, in the promotional images, they haven't folded them away. There's no way that these are mistransformed for promotional images for this. That would be fucking crazy. One benefit is that they have the transforming boob gun. Does it show you them in gun mode? It does not show you them in gun mode. I assume that they transform into the gun because it would be fucking crazy if they didn't. They do attach to the chest. Let's have a quick look at the Iron Factory equivalent. Where are you? Oh, there it is. The Iron Factory equivalent. So there is the boob there, unattached from the chest. There it is in gun mode. And also, we also have a fake chest. So if you wanted a smoother, more coherent looking animation accurate chest piece, there's an entirely separate piece for that as well. Pretty good. What else does the Haslab version of Liokaiser come with? Nothing. That's it. What does the Iron Factory version come with? Well, he comes with a spear. That comes with all of them, where you can remove either of the pointy heads, and you can replace them with... Do we have images of the other spearheads? Do we have images of the other spearheads? Because he does have other spears he can use. Are they? Do we have them? Did someone take an image of them? Okay, I'm not crazy. I see them on my desk. Oh, there's so many stupid pictures that have been posted. Show me the stat for the new bits on you, bitch. Do it. There it is. There it is. 2 different spearheads. So we got that. We got the standard spear with 2 spearheads. We've got 2 replaceable spearheads. We have, if you've noticed, as we've been scrolling through, an animation accurate gun. So we can either have the robot boob turn into the gun, or we can have a smoother, normal looking gun. And then we also have 2 parts. We have the head for the combiner mode. We have a torso piece for the combiner mode where he sits in. And then we have a set of hands. We have 2 closed-fisted hands, 2 holdy things hands, 2 open hands, and then I think he has 2 very flat hands, like saluting hands. Oh, no, they're more like not grippy hands like that. So again, even more. The hands are pretty universal with all of them. So I'm not going to go through the hands every single time. So the hands are ubiquitous with all of them. They made the hands once and then they just slap them around. The jet mode here for the Iron Factory one, I would say, again, let's compare them. I mean, what do you think, chat? What looks better to you? Pick your poison, I suppose. I think this looks better. It's still pretty simple. It's still blocky, like the original design, but it's not quite as blocky as the Hasbro version, I would say. Simon Tank says, which version is taller? Do you mean between the Iron Factory and the Haslab one? Because the Haslab one's gonna be bigger. The Iron Factory one is Legends figures combined together. I'm trying to think, how big is he? I'm looking at him. I'm trying to think What would I guess him at? He's taller than a Voyager. Because you know how Voyagers are now the kind of standard size now? He's taller than that. How much taller? Hang on. Let me take my headphones off. Let me get Armada Motor Master. Armada Motor Master's head comes up to about... I'm kind of eyeballing it here. Comes up to about... Let's get an image as well. No. Skyhawk. It's on the Skyhawk page. No. Skyhawk page. Zoom down, please. I can literally point on the image where it comes up to. And then you'll have a better idea of well, if you've got that mold. If you don't have that mold, well, that's a you problem. It comes up to about here. Armada Motor Master from the Legacy line comes up to about here on Liokaiser. That gives you an idea, potentially. Kaz says, why are people crowdfunding toys that have the same compromise as a retail toy? Well, this is a really good fucking question. A retail toy would have. If Hasbro, this is kind of the point I'm very slowly getting to. If Haslab were closer to Soul of Chigokin in quality, hopefully not in terms of breakage, I would consider them. Yeah, the problem is Hasbro don't want to do... I think what we need to remember is Hasbro are kind of a gouging company. And some people might disagree with that. I definitely think Hasbro are a bit of a gouger when it comes to selling toys. Because we all know that the market has moved to primarily collectors. But like you say, Kaz, this Haslab stuff... I think especially with this, I don't see anything here that couldn't be retail. If you sold these individually in a line, like in the Legacy of the Primes line, I don't see why it couldn't be the case. Because, again, if we look at Skyhawk, again, we have a quick poop over at Skyhawk. Again, look at this. He's smaller. He's certainly smaller because he's a Legends versus a deluxe figure, but look at this vehicle mode, man. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Come on. Come on. I feel it's really fucking lazy. I think a lot of these individual robot modes are really fucking ugly. These individual modes are fucking ugly. Jaruga. How does Jaruga transform? If we are looking at these images, his hands flip up, the hood of the car flips down, and it seems like his legs just fold into themselves. There might be a couple of extra steps, but I don't think that much. And when we look at the combined mode, over here on the prototype images, does it have the really embarrassing image? I did save a really embarrassing image of this mode. They don't actually have it. Okay, hang on. I saved it because I thought this was fucking hilarious and not in a good, like, wow, isn't that cool? As in a, ooh, that's pretty rough. Yeah, okay, so the back of Liokaiser. There's Jaruga. There's, like, Jaruga's entire torso and arms that aren't transformed at all. They're just hanging there. So this is, like... To me, this is such a bummer. This is such a... Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, God. This is going to be 300. 300. And you're like, dollars? Yes. And pounds, so even more. And I think euros-wise, this is 350 euros. So fuck knows what that is in normal human people money. But, yeah, man. I think this is not a good deal. Kill Bison, again, a really fucking ugly robot mode. I appreciate that they've done this, but like Kaz said, this does not feel like a premium toy that you're spending high quantities of money on. Let us note that the two figures, the Iron Factory one, again, and the Hasbro one, are about the same price when you include Death Cobra when Death Cobra is released for Iron Factory. That's the only one they haven't released yet. Death Cobra hasn't came out yet. But when you have Death Cobra and you can, I mean, when this gets funded, and it'll probably get funded enough to have Death Cobra. They're about equivalent in price. I think I think the Iron Factory one's marginally cheaper, but not massively cheaper. It's not going to be a lot cheaper. But it will be a little bit cheaper. Kaz also says, oh, Andy hates the Combiner Wars Skybite torso. Do we mean for the Combiner Wars Liokaiser? Yeah, that's... No, it wasn't Skybite. I'm pretty sure they marketed it as Deathsaurus, right? For some reason, they marketed it as Deathsaurus because it was I think the excuse was because it was Skylinks. It was a giant chicken mode. It's like, it's Deathsaurus. Ah! It's like, no, it's not. Don't lie. But it looked like that in the cartoon. No, it didn't. It looked like Liokaiser looked like this in the cartoon. This is how he looked in the cartoon. This is the toy version. Simon says yes. I mean the combined form for Liokaiser. And XL Hedge says the Zap Megazord series shows why Hasbro shouldn't do high-end collectibles. Oh, is it bad? XL Hedge. Simon Tang says, okay, you are not getting this Haslab. What about Dave? Dave hasn't talked to me in years, so I wouldn't know. I haven't heard from Dave in a long, long time. The last time I heard from Dave was when I went to the last TF Nation, and that was probably like 8 years ago at this point. So it's been a while since I've heard from Dave. So I have no idea. Simon Tang says, shipping extra, remember? Yeah, that's true. The shipping on this thing will be pretty high, which... Did I include the shipping for when I was doing my I don't think I did the shipping when I was calculating for Iron Factory, because getting them from Shozi, you minus like £1 off each of them for whatever reason. The postage, if you go for the cheapest postage, which I do because it takes money off of the product, it's like minus £1 or minus $1 or something, so it's a little bit less. Well, this definitely will add more to the price. Kaz says, Kill Bison's tank mode looks less like a tank than the G1. Oh my god, you fucking true. Yeah. Kill Bison's tank mode has always been something of a... Like, what is it? Like the original one? I didn't know it was a tank. Well, granted, because mine was the Rescue Force version, which had stupid pinchy claws on, so it made no fucking sense. It made more sense with the Iron Factory version. They made it look like a tank. This definitely doesn't look like anything. Thank you, Kaz, for pointing that out. It looks like a mess. I think Drillhorn's alt mode looks... Yeah, it looks fine. Yeah, I think this one's okay. Death Cobra... It's okay. Like, if we compare Death Cobra to the Iron Factory version, I think... In terms of vehicle mode, I'd say they're a bit more comparable, because I think Death Cobra's vehicle mode is just pretty hard to do. Like, if I'm honest, like Death Cobra's Iron Factory mode is a little bit messy. It's a little messy. It's good enough, because I've realized making a helicopter from this and doing this design, not the easiest thing. And I think the Hasbro one's fine. It's probably one of the better vehicle modes, but he does have like his legs, or like his Well, what would these be? Would these be his shins? Or these will be his shins. His shins are pretty big, hanging off the bottom, unfortunately. And he also does form the Death Cobra cannon thing, which is fine. Now, okay, I was gonna say but then I thought, no, let's look at the Combiner Wars. Combiner Wars Kill Bison looks like a thing. It is just a remold, obviously, but it does have a new head. Drill Horn, again. Guy Hawk, jet mode a lot better. What do you think? The Haslab version is more accurate. I might give it to the Haslab version, but that jet mode is so fucking egregiously ugly. The Combiner Wars jet mode is better. Hands down, the Combiner Wars jet mode for Guy Hawk is better, and I think that's the case with Hellbat as well. Let's go back to Haslab's Hellbat. Yeah, that's a really fucking ugly jet. There's the Combiner Wars one. So I think Combiner Wars have better vehicle modes, and the robot modes are not as good. Also, the Combiner Wars one is missing Jaruga and Liokaiser. Sorry, Leozak as well. So obviously that's a tip in the hat of the Hasbro version. But let's head over to the Hasbro Pulse Flimbley Bambles, because why not? Because then we can see what we're getting when you spend £300, 300 American pounds, 300 UK pounds. So we've got so far 4,303 backers. It's got 43 days left and so many hours. But what do you get when we hit the 3 goals? The 3 goals, like, I think only one goal is really good, which is when we get 1,300. We get Death Cobra. That's the only one of value. The next one we get is the electromagnetic nunchuck, which is already included with the Iron Factory version. And then when we get 18,000 backers, we get a display base. Yay! Woo! Is it really okay? Death Cobra. See the robot mode? He's fat. He's a fat boy. This boy, ooh boy, he's a fat bitch. He's a fat little bitch. Bless him. Can we get off this mode, please? Is it escape? Nope. Not the button. There it is. So the electromagnetic nunchuck, which is already included in the Iron Factory version, we get that. It also seems to suggest we get the spear for Leozak. I don't know if that means that we're getting spears for all of them, or if it's just for Leozak. It's not desperately clear there, but he does get that. Now, let's have a look at how cool the base is. I want to let us zoom in. I wanted to zoom in and see how good this was. It is just a purple stand. It's just purple. It's purple, boys. So it's not... I don't think it's great. I don't know how well this will do. I think it will probably be funded, but it's not like a leader character, right? And it's a shame because I was thinking about it after I made the Iron Factory Liokaiser. I think Liokaiser might have the best combiner design. He has a really colorful array of characters. He's got the Breastmasters, which I think is a really fun, neat idea, but then I'm a big fan of Target Masters, so I'm incredibly biased there. And I think generally the shape and look of Liokaiser is really good as a like silhouetted thing. I think it's great. I'm not sure that this is premium enough to justify it being here. Like I said, I think this could have easily been in stores, if I'm honest. I think it's good as well that Death Cobra's finally getting a official toy. It'll be the first official toy Death Cobras have. It won't be the first Death Cobra toy. Iron Factory is going to get theirs out way before this. So that it's going to be the second Death Cobra toy. So if you're a Death Cobra collector, you've only got two figures? You've only got 2 figures to get. So that's a plus. Let's have a look and see what chat's been saying while I've been waffling like a little bitch. Exelhead says, so why does Liokaiser funding goal get the extra member, but Omega Prime couldn't get Tai? My guess would be because Tai wouldn't be a Transformer. And thus maybe Hasbro looked at it and went, no one would want a little girl character. I'm shrugging, but I guess that would be a thing. Like, they'd look at that as a bonus and go, no one would care. Maybe they're not confident enough about making a TIE figure. Maybe. Kaz says TIE is owned by... Oh, there we go. That's the reason. TIE is owned by the animation studio. Anime-only characters are a rights issue. Oh, well, there you go. Then why is she in the Legends manga? Merchandising law. Merchandising laws differ between factions and products in Japan, I'm fairly sure. Yeah, that might be a thing. It might be easier for Japan to register the license for a cameo appearance. It might not be the same for making a physical product, I suppose. I guess. That's why Artemis was cancelled for Leo Prime. Oh, well, there you go. Yeah. So in chat, how many people are going to be getting this figure? Clearly, I think you can tell I won't be. This came out at the worst possible time. If this came out 5 days before, I probably would have been more hyped. And then I would have got more down on it, because I would have got the Iron Factory one after the fact. Don't worry, I'm going to be talking about the negatives of the Iron Factory one when we get to what I've been up to this week, because there are negatives too. It's not a perfect figure. It's just one of those things that when you compare the pricing, what do you think's better? A benefit to this figure is it's going to be a much more simple transformer. It's going to be easier to transform the individual robots. It's going to be easier to combine together. There are going to be less parts for you to worry about. So if you just want to combine it together, you won't have a box of extra bits. That's a benefit as well. But for me, like I've said, and I've reiterated way too many times already, I feel that this is not worth the premium price point. I understand a little bit. I can wrap my head around why Omega Prime would have to kind of be there. I don't like the idea of it having to be a Haslab one, but I kind of get it. I kind of get why Deathsaurus had to be it. I get why Victory Saber had to be there as well. I don't think this had to be here. If the individual robots were more complex than a Combiner Wars figure or their original figure, I'd have a bit more like leeway with it. But these feel and look to me pretty old and not very well designed, and it's a bit of a shame, at least to me. Like I say, some people are going to be happy over the moon. I've seen people just go and, cream mountains have come for these things, but I just want them to do more. I want them to do better, especially for paying a higher price point. And that's my point. There you go. I guess you could argue they maybe transform very similar to their original figures as well, which is, I guess, in keeping with Hasbro's design aesthetic, which is no new transformations, just reiterate what we've had before. Anyway, other bits of news we had are TFCon's getting Frank Welker as a voice actor. TFCon in Los Angeles is going to be the 7th to the 9th of March, so reasonably quick. We're also getting a Riff S. Kinshin, if that's how you say his name. I apologize if it's not, which is the voice of Jazz from 2015's Robots in Disguise. And there's also going to be Dan Norris, the voice of many people, but most notably Knockout from Transformers Prime. And that's that. And we also had a bit of, I don't know if we talked about this, Mechanical Skull Studio are doing the White Doom Starscream, which is their Starscream figure, just into Ramjet. I think we have seen this before. This might be the first time we've seen the colored images of it. I'm pretty sure that this is a legend-scaled Armada Starscream, but now they've done it into the Ramjet Skywarp head Ramjet colors. So he's like blue and red and white and that stuff. It looks really good. It looks really pretty. Very posable. Lots of extra hands. It comes with his Minicon, extra swords, foldable swords. Yeah, very good. He's even got Skywarp's Minicon. Does it transform? I don't see a picture of the Minicon transformed. I'm going to assume it can, because the Minicons don't do a huge amount. It's up for pre-order at the moment. Apparently we'll be releasing late April. So if you're interested in that, I think the original Starscream figure from these guys was pretty well regarded. So, that's pretty cool. You can get that version. I'm guessing a Skywarp will be coming, because they've already done the pieces for it and the mini console. All they've got left to do is just to pump it out. Excel Hedge says, nope, have an attachment to the fiction. Nope, have no attachment to the fiction. Never watch Victory. I'm thinking, is it... I can't see you missing out. Like, Victory's just very, very basic in terms of its story. I don't think it did anything desperately interesting. It's very just like flat. It's better than the Headmasters series, but it's just like, it's from what I remember, and it's been a while since I've watched it. It's a bread sandwich. It's just 2 slices of bread, maybe with butter in it, and you go, all right, well, it's filling me. Headmasters was bad, and Master Force had elements of that really basic animation and the storytelling and stuff, but there was some interesting bits in there. That was the good thing about Master Force. There was interesting stuff in there. The good thing about Victory is to have really cool character designs. I like the character designs in Victory. I think those were always really cool. Like Star Saber, Death's Doris, Leo Zack, the Mac Tackle, and all those guys. Really cool designs and really good transforming toys. But the story, I couldn't really be like, I wouldn't hold a gun to your head and be like, you have to watch it. Exelhead continues, I wish I didn't miss the Shout Factory DVD for the Japanese Transformers series when they came out. I'm guessing it's out of print. I'm guessing it's one of those things where you just can't get it anymore. Kaz goes, I don't buy the obscure characters excuse. I don't buy the obscure characters excuse for making Haslab. I don't either, but that's the one they always hand out. A reason why I don't buy it is like they made the Sentinel from X-Men 97 or 94, whichever one it is, and a Haslab exclusive. They could have put that out in stores. They could have put that out in stores easily. And they could have sold a lot because people would have bought multiple giant Sentinels. The reason it's a Haslab version is so they can charge more. That's the reason why. How many people can tell you about G1 Skids? Well, actually, G1 Skids in the Marvel comic was a very essential character. Have you know? Push glasses up nose. He was in the Underbase saga where he fought against Starscream and then died. I don't know if that's true. That might actually be true. That might not be true. I couldn't tell you. I've never read the... Yeah, if you've been listening to Moonbase long enough, you know I haven't read the fucking comics. You know I haven't read the Marvel comics. But it seems like everybody died in Underbase, so... Yeah. Kaz also says, Master Force is my favorite. Out of the 3, it's not... Wait, is Zone not your favorite? You didn't like that one episode for Zone? Violent Giant, baby. Let's go. It's a Transformers Toku... Yeah, it's a Transformers Toku series, and the monster pretenders feel like Guyver monsters. Yeah, they actually do. Yeah, when you look at the original... Guyver series, not the 2001 version, which I do like. It's my preferred Guyver anime because it's actually more of the story. It doesn't finish this. Why don't they finish Guyver? Why don't they do another Guyver anime and just pick up from where the 2001 version left off? Because they end on a really big cliffhanger. If I remember, like Arkenfell appears, and then the show goes, done. And you go, oh. Oh, well, never mind. I'd like Guyver to finish. Because I'm pretty sure the manga's done. So it'd be pretty cool. It'd be pretty cool if they went back and went, you know what? Let's get the rest of Guyver done. I don't know if Guyver's shit. Like, if it went from, like, that part of Guyver and it shit itself and it was crap. I don't know. La Sombra says the creator died. For Guyver? I thought Guyver finished before the creator died. Is that true? Did the creator for Guyver die? He became a dentist, I thought. Okay, so it seems like we're not quite sure. The creator of Guyver either became a dentist, or he died, or he became a dentist and then died. Kaz says modern anime heads can't approach the majesty of Guyver. True. I'd like Claymore to get finished as well. Now, again, don't get me wrong. Claymore, not an incredible anime, doesn't have an incredible end, but I liked Claymore. It was hot women with swords killing giant monster things. It was like a really, really mediocre female version of Berserk. But I like Claymore. I thought it was fun. Apart from the shitty anime end that they farted up just because they knew it was going to be the one season and then no more. I'd like Claymore to be finished, but you know what you're going to do. But yeah, Guyver. Also, Guyver Dark Hero, an undersung, quaint little movie with David Hayter, the voice of Solid Snake. That's quite a fun little film. Not great. Dark Hero's not a great film by any stretch of the imagination, but I think it's quite fun. It's a fun movie. And I like the fact that there are two cuts of the movie. There's the romance version, which is the longer version, and then there's the shorter, more action version. JD says banging theme tune as well. Do you mean for the Guyver show, or do you mean for Dark Hero, Jai? Because I don't think you're wrong either way. I know the anime No, the anime didn't continue in Japan. The manga continued in Japan. The anime hasn't continued. More than what was released in America. Okay, so I'm guessing what you mean is, yeah, because it was either it must have been the 80s or the 90s, they got the OVA for Guyver, which was like, what, 6 episodes or something? I think they only got up to, it was when the big, like, honey bear badger creature appeared. And I think I can't remember any of the characters' names because it's been so fucking long. I've got it on DVD. They haven't actually put Guyver on Blu-ray, which is a bit of a bummer. I might need to rewatch Guyver because I remember enjoying the 2001 series. But yeah, I don't think America got the 2001 series. Maybe it did. Maybe it did get a dub. Either way, I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, that's all of the Transformers news for this week. I can't remember how we got onto talking about Guyver. Whose fault was it? Oh, it was Kaz. It was Kaz's fault because Kaz mentioned that the monsters from Master Force look like Guyver monsters, and it's 100% true. If you look at that OVA, the monsters in that show, the Zoonoids, I remember the Zoonoids' names. The Zoonoids look really similar to how the especially Blood Bombburst's monster form looks. He looks. They do. It's a fucking nail on the head. They do look very Zoonoidy. Wonder which came out first. Master Force probably ripped on Guyver. I'm gonna say that. I don't have facts, but without looking, I'm gonna say that was probably the case. I'm gonna say that Transformers knocked on Guyver for those designs. Maybe. I don't know. Either way. So what have I been up to this week? Well, you might not have guessed, because I haven't mentioned it yet, but I completed my Master Force Liokaiser. Whoa, what? When did that happen, Andy? That's a surprise. I didn't know. When? That's right, baby. I got Liokaiser. It's really good. It looks great. It's got a load of accessories, but it suffers the same problem that third-party figures have, generally speaking. And it's the fact that it gets fiddly. Parts can get really finicky and fangly. A really good example of it is Drillhorn. To transform Drillhorn, obviously, like his legs are here for his drill mode. Like his thighs collapse down into his shins, right? That's not a crazy thing to say. The way that it happens is a bit more finicky. So he has 2 joints for his knee. He has a joint that's below the knee, that's lower in the shin, and then he has what would be the actual knee joint. So when you're folding these joints, when you're folding the shin and you're getting the thigh to collapse into the shin, the joint part that's lower in the leg is really tight, and that needs to be really flat inside of the leg mode for everything to kind of compress together and go nicely fit together. That doesn't exactly work in a very smooth fashion just because of how tight that joint is, and I wish there was a bit more of a smoother way of that working. I'm not sure how, but I wish there was. The way that the arm covers for Liokaiser go over the, I guess the forearm areas, the leg areas of Hellbat and Skyhawk is, again, a little bit finagly. You got to have things lined up quite nicely and quite smoothly. You've got to have the landing gears in the legs folded down to the downright position, and then you've got to get all these joints kind of lined up, these parts lined up and then slid over the top. Again, it's not bad. It's just one of the fiddly aspects of the design. In the end, it gives you a really cool figure. And the way that all of their individual weapons combine together, like Skyhawk comes with 2 knives, like these, which have 2 joints in them, and Jaruga has 2 like Wolverine claws. you sandwich the Wolverine claws, the two knives in between the Wolverine claws, and it makes like a blade of an axe, that kind of shape. And when you combine like all the other weapons together, you have this giant halberd kind of weapon. Then you can also have all of the joints together to make the nunchuck, the kind of posable nunchuck thing. It's really good. It does leave you with a lot of extra pieces lying in boxes and stuff like that. So it is like advisable to keep the box, or at least have baggies to put these extra parts into. And if you just have them in, the individual modes, you're going to have 2 leg parts left over, a waist part left over, a chest part left over, the forearm parts left over, a head left over. So like 6 fairly large pieces will have to go again in a bag or a box somewhere, just because of how cumbersome they are. Generally speaking, I think it looks great. From what I've seen of the Bruticus, I think it looks better than the Iron Factory Bruticus. I wasn't a big fan of their take on that. I think it's a little smaller than the DJD combiner. I don't think it's quite as wide as the DJD combiner either. And that's either a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how much of a size queen you are, I suppose. I don't really care. I don't have that DJD combiner, so but yeah, it's about comparable with that. I've been asking my buddy Mr. Jason how his is, because he has a DJD combiner. He says there are definitely parts on it which are fiddly as well, and I think that's just, like I say, it's just a third-party thing. Things get fiddly when you make them more complex, and that's just how it is. Also, I didn't mention that when you're transforming these things, parts can bump into each other quite frequently. Just parts clatter into the parts, like especially with the jets, because they have these big giant wings, and when you're folding the back down so you can fold the head away, it can get messy. Kaz says Master Force animators worked on Guyver 2 and most of G1. Really? Huh. That makes a lot of sense, to be honest. G1 is in the American version? They were definitely more constrained then on the Japanese animation eccentricities, which they clearly wasn't the case for like Master Force, where they were allowed to just be Japanese animators rather than Japanese animators who are making a cartoon for America. Because I think that makes sense, if you know what I mean. When you look at an American cartoon, they all look very similar. When you look at a Japanese show, again, they have a certain style to them, even if it's done by the same animation studio. Clearly, there's a mandate, like, you got to make it fit with this. There are some outliers, obviously, like Call of the Primitives, etc., etc. And then there's some really bad episodes as well. Blah, 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 blah. You get it. Either way, yeah, I got that, had that. I talked about G1 Prime. I talked about Magnificus, which I got last time. Have I been up to anything else? I finished Dead Space Remake. That was good. I really enjoyed playing through Dead Space Remake. I do think it is an upgrade from the original game. The bits that they added and the ambient lighting do add a lot to the game. They added extra bits back into the game that weren't there originally, which I do like as well. Not a huge amount, but enough where you're like, oh, well, that's nice. There's a little bit more here. It's nice. There's a little bit more there. Yeah, it's good. If you haven't played Dead Space, it's worth getting. I'd say go for it. Obviously, don't get Dead Space 3, because that's Dead Space 3. Oof. That's when EA decided to shit their pants and destroy the Dead Space franchise, because they're like, microtransactions, that's what we need in a Dead Space game. Ho, ho, ho. You're stupid. Have I been up to a lot of work? Recently. I got Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2, the remaster. We started that yesterday. That's really good. At a click of a button, you can go to the old school graphics, kind of like the what was it, the Halo remaster, where it was just one button press and you could switch back and forth between the new and the old. Soul Reaver's still really good, guys. It's older. You can tell it's really basic, but it just flows nicely. It's just nice to play. Maybe that's biased old man Andy talking. But it's pretty good. It's pretty good. We've also started up Hitman 3, Hitman World Assassins, whatever it's called. We've done a little bit of that so far. It feels, that is a very big game. That feels like a huge undertaking. And because of the sandbox nature to it, and there's so many different ways to murder people, like context sensitive, time allowant ways to kill people. It feels like that's a big game, and it's going to take a long time to go through all of it. And hopefully it will be fun enough to watch me stream and scream, etc., etc. And what's the other thing I've been playing? It's that, and Sifu. That's right, we played a bit more Sifu. I got up to the last boss and got my ass handed to me and had no idea how to beat him. Then I looked at the guide, and the way you beat the boss is you're allowed to hit him twice, and then you have to then parry everything else, and then you're allowed to hit him twice, and then you parry everything, etc., etc. I didn't know that that's how you beat him, because that's not how I've beaten any of the other bosses. I'm guessing I probably should have been beating the other bosses that way, but that's how you do it. So next time I play a Sifu, I'll be going back, beating it for the first time, and then going back through and playing it again. Been playing it with mods, so I've played as Gigi from HoloLive. I played as Corone from HoloLive. I've played as Kamen Rider Black RX from Kamen Rider, and I've also played as Kamen Rider... who did I play last? Oh, Kamen Rider Skull from Double. Yeah, so that's fun. I enjoy doing that. I've also got Dangerous Zombie in there, because why not? And I can't remember if I got any other mods. I need to find out how to have the mods selectable, because it looks like you can only have one male mod costume kind of change, and one female mod costume change at a time, unless there's another mod that allows you to have multiple of those costumes running at once. I'll need to have a look for that. And in terms of stuff I've been watching the Red Dwarf, which I got on Blu-ray. The Blu-ray series goes from Series 1, which is fucking rough as hell, to Series 8, where the show ended, and they never did any more. They didn't do I'll need to ask people, because I know you can get the other Red Dwarf shows on Blu-ray, but I'll need to find out which are the ones that aren't crap. Because I remember Back to Earth, which was the first one they did since Series 8, was really crap. It was really, really bad. And I'm pretty sure the rest of Red Dwarf kind of like fluctuates between being really good and then also being really bad. So I'll need to go around and ask people. I've been watching more Stargate Universe. That's very Battlestar Galactic-y. And again, the camera needs to get out of people's faces and not shake as much. But again, it's a worthwhile show. Feels like stuff's happening. Only got 2 seasons, so it's going to be fairly quick to burn through, as long as I don't have anything else to watch. And that's been about it. That's been what I've been up to. I've been eyeing up Masters of the Universe cartoon collection figures, because I can see on like places they're going for like £15, and it's like, maybe. Hordak for 15 quid. Mantenna for 15 quid. She-Ra for 15 quid? Maybe. I might have to go out and get them. And I know for certain that the Jada Toys Street Fighter figures are really close to being out in the UK, because I think you can order them now from Smith's. So Cammy, DJ, and Commander Guile, or Guile, as he's also known, should be available to pick up relatively soon, which I'll be doing. I don't know whether I should wait for a sale on them. I might buy Cammy straight off the bat, because Cammy's my girl. I that was the character I played when I went round to Dave's, and he gave me the controller and went, just play the game. And I went, I don't know how. And it was just a matter of me suffering and learning. Cammy was the girl I went with, because she's hot. She's got a great ass, I think, as Al Pacino once said. Great man. Was it Scarface that he said great ass? Another movie he said great ass. She's got a great ass. Maybe it was the what was the movie where he hired Keanu Reeves as an attorney and he was the devil? That movie. It's not the Devil Wears Prada, I don't think. Anyway, that'll do us for this week. That's all the news. That's all of the goo. If you want to find me on Twitter, Twitch, or YouTube, you can find me as Decayed Andy, Raw and Flesh of a Human Being. As I said, we're doing Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, 1 and 2. We'll get to 2 at some point. We're doing Hitman World Assassin, and we're also doing Sifu. So those are the games at the moment that we're running through. Stream most days, 10:15 UK time in the evening. If you want to catch us here on the Moonbase 2 podcast, we're on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all those places as the ccbunker.weebly.com. Oh, and ccbunker.weebly.com. We are the Moonbase 2 Transformers podcast. That's where you can find us. I'm stupid. I just can't talk. And yeah, that's the other stuff. Excel Hedge says, I'm getting Masterverse new Eternia Evelyn. Oh, is that the really hot one? That's the one that's just been shown off, right? Right? I'm sure I've just seen images. Is she just out, or is she just gotten images of her out? I'm sure I've seen pictures of her today or like really recently. I'll quickly go to Amazon. Evil Lynn, which is not how you spell Masterverse. It's not this one, is it? Excel Hedge. Is it this one, Excel Hedge, or is it the newer one? I'm sure there's a newer one that's just came out. Or is it this one? Is it the Buff Mummy one? Which one is it? This is the one I'll probably get, the cartoon version. Still a little high. I might wait for it to go down in price. Either way, thanks very much for coming on by, everybody. I hope you have very good... Oh, hang on. Jai says it's a Monzo one. I think he's talking about. Oh yeah, that's it. Yes, the Monzo. That's the one I saw. Yeah, that Monzo's usually pretty good, but they're expensive. They're like they're the £100 ones, if I remember right. They're not the cheapo ones, like the Masterverse ones. I was once tempted to get Scareglow from Masterverse because they kept showing him for like disgustingly cheap prices, and then I was like, nah. I was like, he's bitch ass cheap for a reason, because I looked at reviews and they were like, yeah, I'll just leave him. He looked neat, but not neat enough for me to waste money on. Not when I don't need him, you know. Anyway, thank you very much, guys, for coming on by. We'll see you next time. 9:30 to 10 o'clock-ish next week. We're going to be talking about, what do you call it? The rest of Generations. Reveal the Shield universe, that kind of stuff. We're going to be seeing that. So until next week, everybody, thanks very much for coming on by. I'm dead on the outside, dead on the inside. And until next week, I'll see you suckers next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. And just to clear up things, XL Hedge meant the original one, not the Muscle Mommy one. Bye-bye, everybody.